Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jawad Hassan, and this is the ninth video for our ASP.NET MVC Code First application, which I am preparing for our group here. And in this video, we will talk about a little bit of optimization and refactoring. So what we have done so far that we created our basic view and then create the corresponding create action, which allow users to enter information about event or create new event in other word. And so we saw in the previous video that we were able to save the records in the database. And now from here, let us introduce a little bit of optimization and refactoring. So let's start with our controller. This is our create method, which we created in the previous video. And if you notice here that one thing which it is working fine, no doubt about it. But if you see here, we are making two different database here. Host person ID is our create method, and we are taking this one from then querying the database and taking from the database this object in order to associate with our model. So here's the thing. First of all, if you notice, if we go to our model, if you see here that I have here one object application user. That's why we were querying the database to retrieve this host person and save it with our database. But one thing we can do, and due to this one, when we create this model, our table structure went this way. If you see this one, not this one, Server Explorer, show table data. Host person underscore ID. This was the corresponding key which entity framework created for us. If you notice in our model, we did not have this property available. So what we will do here today, we will create here one property, top host. Let me call this one application public string host person ID. The reason for this one to be a string, because in our application user class we have an ID property which is stored as GUID string. So this will hold that value, and then we need to move this required attribute because we want to make sure that foreign key property is properly set. This is more important, like that. So we introduce this property. Now to our old friend team or tools, uh, package Nougat package manager console. So we change our database. That's why we need to create a migration. FAO person ID. You stop debugging? Yeah, of course. So package manager console, still working on it. And now let's review this one. So if you see here, entity framework is trying to rename the column host person underscore ID to new name host person ID, which is a property name which we added, and then rename the index. Looks fine to me, this migration. And so update database. I will suggest you immediately when you update the database, please check your code in and then proceed. But here, in order to save a little bit of time with your time, so I'm skipping that. Now this was the first thing. We have this property available, and now in our controller, if we will replace this, so we reduce one call from database, and that's good. And we will make it this one, user.identity.get user ID host person ID host person ID. That's it. And if you notice one thing, that this one is redundant. convert string to host person application user. Okay, let me see, there is something which it looks not correct. Host person ID is string, and here, yes, host person ID, host person ID. And if you notice that we are having this redundancy here as well, so why not move this line here and get rid of this variable as well. So our code is a little bit shorter. That's it. And yeah, and if you let's try it. If everything we did not break the our existing logic, it would be better that if we had unit test covering this action, but that's for later. And in meantime, I will talk about, okay, we are here already. So let's say venue is Berlin, date is 20 August 2017, time is 10 a.m. and event type is, let's say, birthday. Save. So if we are directed to the home page, I will assume, yeah, everything is working fine, and you can verify this one in the database that you have this entry available. I will leave this one up to you. So the next thing, see this one, datetime.parse. So I don't think that this is the job of the controller. Actually, controller should only work as a coordinator, not to do this parsing and stuff like that. And actually, we can easily adjust this thing. This is the part of our little bit separation of concern. This is not the job of the controller. And let me cut this one and replace this one a property date time. All this one just to event date time. And see, because we do not have this property in our view model, and let me see the name, generate property, generate field in event controller, generate read only field, event controller date time, generate local. Okay, I want this one to be the property in my event. So not an event, my event, because this view model, because this is coming from here. And let me create here the property, because this will be public date time event date time set. And if you think that this one is actually, we can make it a read-only property, just removing the set. In the get method, we pass this one, and we don't need here anymore our view model, because we are directly in the model, and no need for time, VM, I mean, definitely time. So this is now a calculated field, which is actually parsing our date time, returning it, and these are two properties in our model already. So it looks fine. And go to our controller and replace this one. Okay, so this is date time event, and this is event date time, and actually I need to provide a VM dot. So that was it. So now our controller is free from that parsing logic, and things like fine, seems fine to me. I don't know why there is this red line, but somehow this code is okay, and you can later check this in, and I will leave this one up to you. Okay, where it is expected, and I have not provided, maybe a small error. Okay, so I need here. Okay, not here. Yeah. So you can test this one at your end. And yeah, in the next video we will talk about the client side and server side validation. So let's bring this logic also in our application. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.